All right, welcome back. Let's see where we go. I think we're going to take the same two colors we've been using up here the whole time. The phthalo blue down here, and we'll take a good chunk of the crimson, a bit more than the blue, and we'll mix both of those together right here. We'll see what kind of a purple color we come up with when we put it up there on the canvas. I'm just going to keep flipping it over like this. Scrape, flip, and then kind of mixing it. There we go, set that down. And maybe a little more crimson in that. I'm afraid it's too blue. All right, let's give that a try. Gonna get like a edge. Yeah, there's a good shot. A little edge of it on the. Anyways, it's hard to show. Let's shape them. Let's do simple. Let's keep it simple. Just a rolling kind of. Yeah, there we go. Put some of that red in there, crimson. Whatever it turns out to be on your canvas. Then we're just going to scrape this extra color right off. Maybe we'll put a little more in right there. Nice. I want this to be a little flatter there. Excellent. Yep. All right, wipe that back on the palette or on a paper towel, up to you. Ooh. Now, I cleaned off our 2-inch brush from last time, but could have still used it with the blue and red on there. Maybe we'll, let's just use it. Changing my mind again. Can't make up my mind here. Use a 1-inch to pull this down so we can be careful about our top edges up here, but that's all that matters. And pull this down. See how much liquid white our canvas has on it. If the canvas is dry, this just won't work. And it just doesn't work. And it's sad when it does happen, because then you have to go back in and put a bunch of liquid white and then try to pull your mountains out. There we go. Nice misty at the bottom. Pull this one down that way. Fade it off into the distance. Maybe this part comes down this way. There we go. Looks pretty mystical. We'll keep it there. Now let's do some real simple highlights. since our white is pretty much dry, we're not going to get much out of it. So we might even have to add a bit more momentarily, but we'll see. Let's just smear this time. Smear this guy. And we'll smear this guy. Grab some more white. See, it's so dry it won't smear. That's good. That's how you want it. Keep those ridges real dark up there. There we go. Just let that happen. I even got a touch of yellow right there. Probably can't see it on the screen. All right, let's take some blue. Just the slightest. And I'll try to mix it with whatever white is left there. And we will get a bit of a brighter blue. Pull down just some quiet shadows. Nothing too outstanding. Simple, easy, quiet. It's just pulling the opposite direction as the highlights. Nice. Maybe there's some just riding in over here. Never know. Never know. Just trying to use all the color on the knife here. And cover up some of those scratch marks there. Let some of that color play down below. Yeah, there we go. Like that. Keep that mountain in there. Except maybe it needs a shadow. Go back to the dark color. Super dark. Just touch a tiny bit in there. There we go. Like that. I'll mix some of our blue and white in there. This is where you can get carried away doing little things. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. All right. Sometimes you just can't stop. There we go. Yeah. Put a little light up there. Careful with this, you'll cut yourself if you're not careful. Done that before. Alrighty, now take the same brush. Yeah, we'll take the same brush we used to blend it out. And we're just going to soften up those bottoms there. Just lift up. Not through the whole mountain though, just the bottom area. There we go. Kind of softens the whole thing up. Sometimes the softer, the more realistic it feels. It's interesting how that works. All right. Now, let's do... Is it this guy? Yeah, let's do it. We might need some more white, though. Just a second. Grab some white. Set that down there. May need a new tube of this soon. Links in the description. It is, though. This stuff is very good. I definitely prefer these small tubes compared to the huge ones. Then you really have an oil confusion. All right. Let's, I don't know if I want to do, yeah, soft little foothill. Yeah. So we're taking this area, it's got the mixture of the blue, the crimson, and the mountain color we made. And I put some white at the bottom here so we can touch into it to soften up our color. We're just going to tap because we don't want the brush to be too full of this. And grab a touch of the white. So it kind of blends with the brush there. And we'll tap in a foothill back here. Make the angle, it's blocking off the mountain. So it goes higher than the mountain there. It comes down in front of it. So you don't lose what you have going on back here. And down there, maybe way back there. Nice. Just curve it up. This one goes over here and blocks off. We'll lift up slightly on this, just ever so slightly. There we go. And then we'll flip to the other side of the brush, has almost no color. Tap. Interesting. All right, so that's kind of soft foothills in the background. Now we're going to put a closer layer. Make sure we use the right side of the brush again so we can continue blending. Getting a little more color this time. And this will be a darker foothill. Maybe comes down over here. That's a steep one there. The computer agrees. Maybe it comes off that way. We'll have trees blocking some of this. Yeah. Get some more color on the brush, tap it. Have another one. Ooh, this one's really red. I'm going to connect with that. And we'll just lift up slightly, straight up, like little tree shapes. Or the illusion of tree shapes, anyways. Interesting. All right, now I think we should tap the bottom of that. It looks like the land comes down. There we go. Should pull the liquid white kind of through so it's softer, more shadowy underneath, or more misty looking underneath each layer. This layer got a little out of hand there, but we'll block that with a tree. All right. Actually, let's just go all the way with the 2-inch brush. This is going to be fascinating. So, grab a ton of crimson, the mountain mixture. Mostly dark. Just a ton of dark. And maybe before we get crazy with the 2-inch, we'll add ourselves a little water line. I'll pull through some liquid white that I have on the palette. And just cut in a little background line here, so it can give us some separation of whatever happens next. I'm going to keep this simple. Sweet. See, the center is the furthest up, and these lines coming out move down just a tiny bit. So that way it looks like it's coming around towards you. Now let's go crazy with the 2-inch. So quite a bit of paint there. More on one side than the other, because I'm just going to do some big old hanging over trees here. Not sure if it's a pine tree or whatever kind of tree you want it to be, that's what it is. Get more color. You want enough paint in the brush to make the texture without having to do too much work. See how it runs out of paint there? Reload. Might have to make ourselves another mixture here. Well, keep this kind of off to the side so it doesn't overtake our hills and valleys in the background. Keep reloading. I'm mostly loading this corner because that's what we're using mostly. Oh yeah, there we go. And maybe this tree lives on a piece of land that's right here. And think about this triangle shape here underneath as your land. Because once again, just like back here, it's coming around towards you. So the furthest back point is the highest up in the picture. So it's one of those things that once you get the perspectives like that, it changes the whole outcome. Changes the whole outcome. So I get a bit more paint on the brush, create some texture back on there because the smears don't look good. Just create some little grassy things, bushes, whatever you want to call them. I think back here in the background, I want to pull down what will look like some little reflections maybe. And then I'll go back over our water lines. Fascinating. Maybe we'll pull that up a little too. Heck. Yeah, there we go. That looks really interesting. Nice. That. All right. Now, come back with our water line. Interesting. Hmm. See those water lines, they change everything. It's crazy. Back over there. Saw right through the canvas. Nice. I'm going to want to touch over the area right there so it looks like the tree's kind of, maybe we'll make a bush. How about that? So instead of tapping the corner here when we load, we'll pull with the corner downwards. Tap upwards with that corner. There we go. Super satisfying. Little bush there. Hangover tree going on here. And then I'll have some reflections. Just pull straight down with the same color, same brush, from wherever your water is going to live. We'll try to mirror our big tree down here. Because it kind of hangs over further. There we go. Like that. And then just once or twice across. Let's pull from the outside in. There we go. There we go. We'll do some highlights and land, but we'll save that. Do this other side real quick so we can get some progress going. Like I said, it's easy to get carried away, and when I'm doing a video here, I don't really want to get carried away for 17 hours. All right, let's do the same thing other side. We'll actually make this tree over here. I wanted to make him shorter. Yeah, let's make him shorter and further in the background. So that means the land will be higher than this one. So maybe he's like a up tree like that instead of a hanging down guy. So we're just pushing in. Give him his branches there. May need to reload if you do. Feel free to. Maybe that right there. I'm going to get a lot of crimson. Pull it right through the blue. Crimson, blue. All right, that's some color. There we go. Little lands. Can I kind of block off the background back there? Using our overlapping little grass and right there. See, he almost lives on the same plane as this guy. Almost. And then we'll reflect him into the water. So he's kind of doing this kind of a thing. Don't really worry about the reflections being exact, unless you feel like you want to. Oh yeah, pull that straight down. Liking that. That straight down. Across. There we go. Maybe we'll need to have some bigger bushes here if our reflections are going down so far. There we go. Take a clean brush and blend the purple that's in the water down here so it softens up. It's not so grainy. I want it to look smooth. There we go. A lot smoother. A lot glassier looking. Like you would expect out of water. Here we go. Alright. Now, I don't think we're going to go overboard with the highlights. Normally I'd do a whole bunch of yellows and oranges and things like that, but we can just stick with a simple winter highlight. We'll put some white right here. I'm really running out of room on the palette, so hopefully we don't get the wrong colors into our highlights. Let's I think I want to make a little bit of land before we get into finishing. So let's grab some, I'm going to need some either burnt umber or Van Dyke brown. This is kind of dry. I'm going to see how it works. There we go. Pulling it down at an angle. It's not bad. Not bad. Need a little more though. Kind of goes too diagonally. Let's get some burnt umber. Dang, 1980 Gambling is what this one is. It's hard to see with the light on it. There you go. Put a little bit of that out. We want to use everything we put on the palette. That's the goal. Never quite happens. Never quite happens, but I take the fault for that. I gotta turn this so it's right on with me here so I can have a vertical knife. There we go. There we go. Have little different peninsulas that are coming out. Like this part's a little bit more out in the water. And this part is up here. An uneven, distribution of land going on. Because that's how land is. It's only level when it wants to be. Or if somebody makes it that way more often. Yeah. This is going to be highlighted, so I'm kind of doing too much of this, really. Smear that out. Grab a slight bit of white. Mix that with the brown. There we go. And same exact way we put the brown on there, the land brown, whatever you want to call it. We highlight it. And the direction of your highlights create the dirt and the rocks and all that. So if you go across and then down, you'll have like a flat top and a drop off. If you go down and then over, it'll drop down and look like a flat bottom. So it's kind of however you want it. However you want that. I usually just let it happen how it does because that's where the miracles are. Like that. Yeah. Because then there'll be a water line underneath of it. And the highlights of the bushes will lead down into it and it'll all come together. So that's where we're headed, if you're wondering. All right, I like that. That's nice. This is kind of looks like an extra, I don't know, extra rock to stand on. There'll be one over here. Now, wipe that off the knife. Get our paper towel here. I like this nice little scenery. I'm thinking our reflections down here need to be a bit darker because of what we got going on over here. So let's do that real quick. That's the part about the screen that helps me see that better. Tap in some real dark purples over here. We'll get our clean brush and we'll blend that out. or what once was clean brush. So we'll pull it straight down, because that's how reflections work, I guess, in this technique. And then back and forth across to give it that glassy appearance. How's that? Still could be darker. I'm not convinced, Watson. Let's get some full paint. Have it up here. The other side just creates such a contrast. It's incredible. There we go. Let's work with that now. A bit better. Pull that across. Yeah, I'm liking that. That's a lot better. All right, let's take some of that, since it's working so well, and reflect this bush section right there. Careful, almost started tapping into our brown and bringing it down in the water. Down in the water. Don't want to do that. All right. I think that was a nice little addition there. It'll add something to look at once this is all done. The reflections are one of the things I stare at the most after they're all done. Dun, dun. Now, some water lines. Nah, let's do the highlights. Yeah, let's do the highlights first. All right. Let's grab this clean white without getting other colors into it. Put it over here where the liquid white is, so we can mix them together. Try to use everything on the knife there. Dun, dun, dun. Mix both of those on the brush. Might need some more liquid white, really, but we'll see. I'll show you what's happening up here. And just tap it in the corner. Kind of the same way we loaded our brush down here, because we're going to do the same thing. Probably should have used a 2-inch brush, really. But, all right, maybe we'll do this side first. Oh yeah. Yeah, just give them some highlights. Wherever you think snow would be. Don't destroy all your dark areas. That's the #1 rule here. If you cover all your dark areas with highlights, you messed up. But through my years of painting, I've learned, kind of takes learning the hard way before you find the right way. Hopefully that's not the case for you. All right, there we go. Bring those little highlights down to the dirts there. I'm gonna try to get some paint right on the tip of the bristles there, so I can be extra careful, because I don't want my brush to end up full of brown, because that's certainly a possibility in this step. Like that though, it came out really good. Looks so soft. All right, let's do one more. I'm afraid I'm gonna need some liquid white. Liking this painting though. It's one of those ones I like more than the ones I've done recently. Usually that doesn't happen till after it's sat over there on the shelf for a while, or after it's been stared at for a while. Let's put it that way. I wonder that if you're an artist and you're watching this deep into this video, does it take you a while before you like your work? Or does it come instantaneously? I mean, I would say, you know, anybody would say it varies per piece, but on average. All right, now we got some liquid white over there. Just take this brush, pull it through. Actually, use some more of the normal white, which is titanium white. Pull it through the liquid white here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a bit more paint now. Maybe. Oh yeah. Don't want to overdo this guy. Don't want to overdo this guy. And I kind of want to put a blue hue to these highlights. If I can. If the paint's not wet enough, you'll begin picking up the dark colors. So if that's what's happening, then you need more liquid white or paint thinner or just pure oil. But be careful with how much you use of all of those. Did I get some on my elbow? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Glad I caught it before I started leaning on everything. There we go. All right. Now, I want to finish these highlights up. You kind of get how to do this now. I just want to add some maybe down here in the water. I don't know if that's a good idea. Worth a try though. Kind of might look interesting. And then this one's more flat taps. Like that. And got the last of the white down here. Pretty much running out of it. I think that's the story of the day, running out of white. Go, last little highlights. Push that one on. And yeah, get that texture look. There we go. See, if you do too much, it starts to look flat. If that black area disappears there, I don't know. Gotta be careful. Maybe some down here. Yeah, like that. Tap some into our dirts because our brush was getting messy. I'm gonna leave it right there before I start making it flat because of all the highlighting. It's hard. It's hard to leave it. You totally want to go overboard. I got some brown in the brush and I gotta wipe it out. Do a final little couple highlight touches here in the water and call it good. Call it good. Let's white. There we go. I'd say that's pretty interesting. Definitely. softly across. Just give it a watery feel. There we go. Now, last but not least, go through that area of highlight color because it's liquid still on the bottom. Do ourselves a little waterline technique. If your white turns in to the land color, then wipe the knife, start again. See, these will be softer water lines because the white isn't pure white, it's more of a purple. So they'll be a little less bright on you. I think that's nice. I'll leave that before I get carried away. Let's do one over here. I had fun doing this one. I liked it. And I'm uniquely satisfied with the end result. I find out more often it's the simple ones that really make you feel good. Maybe for me, anyways. All right, let's use the last of this little water line out here. And then if you don't like your water lines, you can always blend them off. They just almost go away. And then you can adjust the angle if that's what was throwing it off there. All right. Blend that off. There we go. All right, well, if you watched this far, you're incredible. Hope you painted along at least, or hope you'll think about doing it in the future. As you can see, it's not that hard. Just takes a little bit of time, practice, like anything in life. But I'm Chase Corrington. This is the CLC Paint YouTube channel. If you get value, consider subscribing, smash the like button, and check the description. I put a lot of stuff in the description. Don't really care to spend a lot of time mentioning it all, but there's tools, links to all my websites and everything else in there. A lot of ways to learn and get new things. Until the future, keep painting.